the first bloom. The artisan's hands moved gently, almost like a gardener tending to fragile petals. With each twist of copper wire, a loop blossomed into shape, curving like a flower unfurling in the morning light. At its center she nestled a pearl, soft and luminous like a drop of dew caught at dawn. She had always believed jewelry carried whispers of nature's voice. Copper, warm and earthy, connected to the soil. Pearls, born from the sea, carried the calm of water. Together, they formed a balance of earth and ocean, a promise of renewal. As the earrings took shape, the artisan felt the world quiet around her. A breeze slipped through the open window, rustling the petals of the flowers on her work table. For a moment, it was as if the earth itself was watching, blessing the creation with its silent nod. When she held up the finished pair, sunlight struck the pearls, making them glow like tiny moons suspended in copper blossoms. They weren't just earrings, they were the beginning of something, a story, a promise. And somewhere in the distance, unseen but felt, the blossoms stirred as if waiting for the one who would wear them. Chapter 2: The Wearer of Blossoms. The earrings did not stay long in the artisan's hands. A young woman entered her little shop one morning, her eyes tired, her spirit heavy, as though life had rained on her too long. She said she was only browsing, but when her gaze fell upon the copper and pearl blossoms, her breath caught. "May I try them?" she asked softly. The artisan nodded, fastening the earrings onto her ears. In that moment, something changed. The pearls glowed faintly, as if sensing their new companion. The copper loops shimmered, their delicate shapes mirroring the flowers embroidered on the woman's shawl. She looked into the mirror, and for the first time in many months, she smiled. What the woman didn't realize was that the earrings had been waiting for her. Copper hummed with the grounding strength of the earth, reminding her of her roots. The pearls whispered of calm seas, telling her storms could pass. Together, they bloomed into courage, the kind she thought she had lost. When she left the shop, the air seemed lighter around her, the blossoms swaying gently as if alive. The artisan watched her go with quiet knowing. She had seen this before. Some pieces of jewelry weren't just decoration, they chose their wearer. And deep within the copper wire's memory, something ancient stirred. The first petals of a greater story beginning to unfold. Chapter 3: Moonlight Blossoms. That night, the young woman, her name was Alina, stood by her window, unable to sleep. The city outside was quiet, bathed in silver light from a full moon that seemed unusually bright. She touched the earrings absent-mindedly, feeling their cool weight against her skin. Then, it happened. The pearls began to glow, faint at first, then stronger, casting soft ripples of light that danced like water. The copper loops shimmered, reshaping slightly, as if blooming into real petals of a flower that had only been sleeping until the moon called it awake. Alina gasped. She could almost hear whispers, not with her ears, but inside her heart. The words were gentle, soothing, like an old lullaby. Strengthen the roots, calm in the tides. You carry the blossoms, and the blossoms carry you. Her reflection in the glass startled her. The earrings now looked different. Where there had been simple loops and pearls, tiny blossoms of light had formed, like glowing flowers woven from copper fire and moonlit dew. For the first time in years, Alina felt not only beautiful but powerful. The heaviness she had carried seemed to melt, replaced with a quiet certainty. These earrings weren't ordinary. They had chosen her for a reason. But as the light began to fade, one last shimmer remained, a mark, faint but clear, etched onto the copper, a symbol she did not recognize. And with it came a question that would not leave her mind. Who created these earrings, and what destiny did they awaken in her? Chapter 4: The Hidden Mark. Alina could not shake the image of the strange symbol. The tiny etching on the copper shimmered faintly even after the moonlight had faded, as though it was carved not with tools but with light itself. She sketched it on a piece of paper, her hands trembling. It looked simple, 3 curved lines interwoven with a circle at the center. But the more she looked at it, the more alive it felt, like an eye, or perhaps a flower. The next morning, she carried the sketch into the old part of town, where antique shops lined the crooked streets. She knew of one place in particular, a forgotten little shop that smelled of parchment and wood dust, run by an old man who collected symbols and charms from across the world. When she showed him the sketch, his eyes widened. He took off his glasses, leaned close, and whispered, "Child, do you understand what you carry?" Alina shook her head. The man closed the shop door and lowered his voice. "That mark belongs to the Order of the Copper Bloom, an ancient circle of artisans, guardians, some say, who believed copper was more than metal. They saw it as the bridge between the earth and the heavens, and pearls. Symbols of the soul, purity carried through storm and sea. Together, they forged talismans, rare ones, powerful ones." Her heart pounded. "You mean these earrings are..." He nodded gravely. "Not just jewelry, they are keys. And if they have revealed themselves to you under moonlight, it means your time with them has only begun." Alina felt both fear and excitement stir inside her. The earrings had chosen her, but chosen her for what? The old man gave her one final warning as she left his shop. "Beware, child. The Order's works were long thought lost. If others learn you wear one, not all who come seeking will be friends." That night, Alina once again touched the earrings, her fingers tracing the copper loops. She could feel it now, a subtle pulse, like a heartbeat, as if the earrings themselves were waiting for her next step. And somewhere deep inside, she felt it too. This was no accident. Her life was about to change forever. Final chapter, the first bloom. The night after her visit to the old shop, Alina could not sleep. The old man's words echoed in her mind. Keys, guardians, beware. The copper earrings rested on her bedside table, faintly glowing, like they were breathing in rhythm with her own heartbeat. Drawn by instinct, she put them on and stepped outside. The moonlight bathed her garden, silent and silver. For a moment nothing stirred, then she felt it, a warmth against her skin, spreading from the earrings down her chest into her hands. The garden shimmered. The copper loops seemed to hum with an invisible current, and then, before her eyes, the soil at her feet began to stir. From the earth rose a single flower, its petals metallic, a bloom of copper edged with soft light. It swayed gently in the night breeze, radiating a quiet power. Alina gasped. "The first bloom," she whispered. She bent to touch it, and in that instant, visions filled her mind, flashes of others like her across history, each wearing jewelry wrought with the same symbols, each standing at a crossroads between creation and danger. She felt their strength, but also their warnings. And just as quickly as it appeared, the copper bloom sank back into the soil, leaving only the moonlit grass behind. Her earrings no longer glowed, but she knew now, this was only the beginning. Somewhere beyond her quiet village, others might be searching for the same secrets, perhaps allies, perhaps enemies. She could no longer pretend this was just an accident of beauty. The Order of the Copper Bloom had found her, and soon, she would have to decide what kind of guardian she was meant to become.